What's up, you guys? This week we are going to be making something from my personal culture. I'm Métis. If y'all didn't know, I'm probably the most Canadian person ever. My dad's from Newfoundland. My mom is Métis. If you didn't know what Métis is, it's Aboriginal and French Canadian. So anyways, let's get to it. We're going to make fry bread today, otherwise known as Bannock. I don't think I've ever made this before in my life. Maybe when I was a lot younger. I asked my mom because she was here visiting, and she said she's never made it, but she's not much of a cook, so that doesn't really surprise me. But maybe I made it with one of my cousins or something. Anyways, you're not going to need a lot. Just a bowl, some baking powder, some flour, salt, oil, and water, and a nice pan to do the frying in. You'll want to get that pan just kind of like warmed up on low while you're doing everything else. So it's going to be pretty simple from here on out. I've already added our baking powder, so we'll just add all the dry ingredients together first. So baking powder, so 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 cups of flour, and you need about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I'm just gonna sort of eyeball it. That's probably good. And then you just want to mix it up. You can totally use your hands. I'm going to, and just throw it all over myself in the process. So yeah. Again, like I said, just want to mix that up. The next thing you want to do is kind of like make like a bit of a well or a hole in the middle of your bowl. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see. Anyways, you want to make a well in there. And then we're going to gradually add the water and the oil. So I'll probably just put like 1/2 teaspoon, or sorry, 1/2 tablespoon of oil first. I'll add another one in a sec, and we're going to add like a little bit of our water. Kind of want to just like fold it in, if that makes sense. So just kind of scoop it over, under, kind of thing. That's what folding is. Just, again, we're just going to gradually add the water. We don't want to add it all at once because otherwise it won't mix properly. We're going to need quite a bit of oil to fry up the bread. And I'm definitely not eating all of this myself. I actually went on a bit of a baking binge this week, and this is the last thing I think I'll be baking. And I'm giving away like a lot of it to one of my neighbors so that I don't feel obligated to eat it because I don't like wasting. So this is going to be very sticky, so just be aware of that, I guess. And your total like kind of mixing time for this is going to be about 10 minutes. You don't want to knead it too much. You'll find recipes online that say this specific amount, but you kind of just know how much you should use. I know that I said I didn't make this before, and I haven't, to my knowledge, but I'm pretty confident that I know what it should feel like and look like. Yeah. And again, you don't want to over knead it, so just, it should be a bit sticky, but don't go crazy with it. All right, that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to put it on this flat surface right here. Put that off to the side. And then start the kneading process. And again, if it's too sticky, or I don't know if I said this already, but if it's too sticky, you'll know. You want it to be a bit sticky, and don't over knead it. As you can see, I'm just picking it up and pushing on it, and it's stuck all over my hands, but that is how it should be. I'm going to add a tiny bit more flour. Not go crazy over it, but if you've ever done any kind of baking before, you'll know too. Probably people who have made this before are watching and cringing. maybe. It kind of looks like that. So it's like, again, it needs to be kind of sticky like that. That is part of what's going to make it the best. So next thing you're going to do is just break it up into a couple different pieces. Flatten them a little bit. These don't have to be perfect. If you've ever seen what Bannock looks like, you can kind of get the idea. It's obviously going to expand. It is dough. All right. It's pretty fun to play with, to be honest. Basically anybody can do this. I try to make recipes which would be very easy for anyone to make, and this one definitely will be. Before I wash my hands, I'm going to really pick up this olive oil bottle and add quite a lot. I would say about 1/4 of a cup to the pan. You don't want to cook these on high because otherwise you're only going to cook the outside. So make sure it's like on like a medium low. So I'm going to wash my hands. You don't want it to be dangerously high that it's like splashing all over the place when you drop these in. But yeah, so now that my hands are a little bit cleaner, they should look like this. And you're probably thinking, that just looks like a clump of dough. It is. I want to flatten them out a little bit too. I know I just washed my hands, but there was just too much on them before. There we go. Now they're ready for sure. They should only take a couple of minutes on each side, and have your spatula ready. So yeah. You want the oil to be about, I would say like 1/4 inch thick in your pan. And also on the plate, you want to have some like napkins or like a paper towel just to soak up some of the excess oil. You can see these are a little bit thick, the first ones, so I'm just flattening them out a little bit more. All right. Yeah, I would say probably make them a little bit flatter this round. All right. Yeah, once your oil gets pretty hot, they start going pretty fast, but as you probably notice, I'm being super careful about flipping them, as you should be. And kinds of meals that you can eat with these, or you can just have them as a snack. You can have them at breakfast with some butter on them, or margarine, or vegan margarine. Jam is good on them. You can just have them by themselves. I'm sure there's tons of other ways you can eat them, but those are the ways that I've had them before, when they were just like there. But like, yeah, other than that, maybe like you could have them with any sort of breakfast food. But normally for breakfast, I just eat oatmeal and have coffee. Personal choice. All right, for our last two pieces. And again, just have them like, it's sticky, but make them very thin. I learned my lesson with the first one. I think that you probably get away with it being a bit thicker if you have like a deep fryer or something. I'm not sure I would use a deep fryer for it, or if you can. But I'm sure you can find a way. I'm actually going to put the first two in for just a little bit longer, just because they look a little pale, not as golden brown. All right, so there you have it. We got fry bread, otherwise known as Bannock, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this part of my culture. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification if you want to be notified for the next time my videos come out. Peace.